Let me give you the day that turns your life around, as quickly as I can. I got 4 parts to the day that turns your life around, and then we're finished for the day.
Number 1, disgust. Disgust is a negative emotion, but it can have a very positive, powerful effect. Disgust says, I've had it. What an important day that could be. I've had it. I met a beautiful, powerful, accomplished executive lady in New York. A company invited me to come in and play with the vice president. Extraordinary lady. I got an hour and I found out her story. I said, how did you get here? Big income, and you never went to college, never went to university. I said, how did you get here? Jetty, powerful income. She said, well, let me tell you part of the scenario. She said, when I was a young mother a few years ago, I asked my husband for $10. And he said, what for? He said, before that day was over, I decided I would never ask for yes again. She said, I started studying opportunity, bounded to classes, put myself through school, did the scenario. Now I'm vice president. I make a lot of money. And she said, I kept my promise. I've never, ever asked for yes here. It's called the life-changing day, the day you say, enough. Now you can add an actor. You're disgusted. A man takes a shotgun to his car, blows out every dent, destroys every tire, put it on the ground, and it was there that he had driven this embarrassing thing for the last time. And he said, enough is enough. Here's the last 3. Next, the decision. Decision-making at the life-changing day. If you went home today and in the next few days cleaned up a list, the decisions it could furnish enough inspiration for the next 5 years, 10 years. What an inspiring did you bring yourself to decide? Here's the 3rd, the desire. Wanting to bad enough. Who knows the mystery that we don't know? But here's something I do know. Sometimes desire waits for a trigger, waits for something to happen. Who knows what the happening may be? A bomb, the lyrics of a movie, the Bible, a seminar, a sermon, a book, an experience, confrontation with an enemy, a conversation with a friend, Bible levels with you. Whatever the experience, it is so valuable. And you're my best advice. Welcome all experience. You never know which one is going to turn everbreed. Then, don't put up the wall. The same wall that keeps out disappointment, keeps out happy. Take down the wall, go for the experience. Let teaching in. And here's the last, resolved, as I will to the most powerful words in the language. Benjamin Disraeli said, nothing can resist the human will that will stake existence on its purpose. Shortly put, I'll do it or die. That definition numbers all. I got it from a little junior high girl in Foster City, California. I'm going through some words one day. I got to this one. I asked the kids, who can tell me what resolve means? Some didn't know. Some tried. Interesting. The laughter was the best. A little girl about hurled back, I think I know, mister. Oh, what she said. I think resolve means promising yourself you will never give up. I said, that's the best I've ever heard. She's probably giving seminars somewhere today, right? That best heard. I asked the kid, how long should a baby try to learn how to walk? How long would you give your average baby before you say, enough's enough? No, oh, any mother in the world. They are crazy. My baby is going to keep trying. What until what? A magic word. Do I want you to write it down? Until. Promise yourself you'll read the books until all your skills change. You'll go to seminars and payrolls. You get a handle on it. You let them do it until it makes sense. You'll go to school until you understand. You practice until you develop the skill. Never give up until, however long that is, step by step, piece by piece, book by book, word by word, apple by apple. Walk around the block, go for adult myth, the chance to grow old and resolved that you'll pay the price until you learn, change, grow, become. Then you'll discover some of life's death treasures when you pay that price. Understanding what you need to know and gathering that information is crucial for leading a good life. Let me tell you about some valuable advice I received from Mr. Schoaf back in the day. He stressed the importance of studying. That's the key word for making big changes in your life. He said, if you want to be successful, study success. If you want to be happy, study happiness. And if you want to be wealthy, study wealth. It seems like common sense, right? But you'd be surprised how few people actually take the time to do it. It's like a mystery why more folks don't make it a priority. Here's the thing. Ideas and information are like golden nuggets that can unlock a better future for you. If you feel like you're missing something in life, it's not because you don't have enough money or opportunities. It's because you haven't come across the right ideas yet. That's something I learned a long time ago, and it's proven to be true time and time again. Speaking of valuable advice, let me share something with you from the Bible. There's a saying in there that goes something like this: seek and ye shall find. So the trick is to actively search for the knowledge and insights that can change your life for the better. It's all about being proactive and curious. Now, when you do stumble upon a brilliant idea, don't just rely on your memory to hold on to it. Write it down, record it, make sure it's captured somewhere safe. That's why tools like journals and recording devices are so handy. They help you store and preserve those precious nuggets of wisdom. But let's talk about leaving a legacy for future generations. There are 3 things I believe are worth passing down: photographs, books, and journals. Photographs capture moments in time that can tell a story for generations to come. Books contain knowledge and wisdom that have shaped your thinking and values, and journals are like treasure troves of personal insights and reflections that offer a glimpse into your inner world. Don't forget the importance of reflection. Taking time to look back on your experiences and learn from them is like mining for gold in your own life. It's a chance to extract valuable lessons and insights that can guide you on your journey forward. So whether it's at the end of the day, week, month, or year, make it a habit to reflect on what you've learned and how you've grown. In summary, the path to a fulfilling and successful life is paved with curiosity, study, reflection, and a commitment to passing on valuable knowledge to future generations. It's a journey worth embarking on, filled with endless opportunities for growth and discovery. When my dad was about to turn 76, I told him something interesting. I said, "Dad, can you imagine how cool it would be to take all the things you've learned in the last 75 years and use them to make your 76th year amazing?" Life isn't just about adding one more year. It's about using all the experiences from the past to make the future even better. Think about it. Every conversation you've had, every experience you've been through, they're all like pieces of a puzzle. When you reflect on them, you can learn from them and make each new conversation or experience even better. The more you learn from your past, the brighter your future can be. Most of us already know what we need to do to make our lives better. But the tricky part is figuring out how to use what we've learned to become the person we want to be. That's where being curious and finding out how things work comes in. You might not be able to do everything you find out, but it's important to learn as much as you can. I met a guy named Mr. Schoaf when I was 25, and he gave me some great advice. He asked me how I'd been doing for the past 6 years, and I had to admit, not very well. He told me that 6 years was enough time to realize if I was on the right track or not. And when he asked how much money I'd saved, I had to say none. He made me realize that I needed to change my plan because it clearly wasn't working. Sometimes it can be tough to face our mistakes, but that's how we learn and grow. We can also learn a lot from other people's experiences, both the good and the bad. The Bible, for example, has stories that teach us what to do and what not to do. One of the best ways to learn from others is by reading books and listening to people who have achieved great things. Successful people are often keen readers because they understand the value of learning from others' experiences. So, if you want to make the most of your life, keep learning and growing every day. Curiosity drives them to read because they just have to know. It's something they all have in common. Here's a good phrase. All leaders are readers. They also use cassette programs, especially while they're in the car or during other times when they can't read. Cassettes can help all of us easily pick up new ideas and skills. Did you know there are cassettes and books on how to be stronger, more decisive, a better speaker, a more effective leader, have a better effect on other people, become more loving, develop personality, get rich, develop influence, and become sophisticated? Yet, people don't use them. How would you explain that? Some may say they're too busy. By the time they struggle home from work, it's late, they've got to eat, watch TV, and get to bed. They can't stay up half the night reading or listening. But here's the thing. If you're behind on your bills, being a good worker, sincere, and hardworking might not be enough. You've got to be better than that. You've got to be a good reader, a good listener. At least you could listen to a good cassette on the way home, right? You don't have to spend half the night reading or listening to educational cassettes, although if you're broke, it's a good place to start. But here's all I ask. Just 30 minutes a day. That's all. Stretch it to an hour if you can, but at least 30 minutes. Half rich isn't bad. 30 minutes. Hear or read something challenging, something instructional every day, and don't miss a day. You wouldn't miss a meal, would you? But not your 30 minutes. You can get along without some meals, but you can't get along without some ideas, examples, and inspiration. There's a Bible phrase that says humans cannot live on bread alone. The next most important thing to bread is words. Words nourish the mind, words nourish the soul. Humans need food and words to be healthy and prosperous. Make sure you have a good diet of words every day. I once told my staff that some people read so little, they have rickets of the mind. And remember, to properly feed the mind, you must have a good balance. Don't just read or listen to the easy stuff. You can't live on mental candy. Here's a thought. Why not call good books and cassettes tapping the treasure of ideas? And if somebody's got a good excuse for not tapping the treasure of ideas for at least 30 minutes every day, or spending the money and getting the books and cassettes, I'd like to hear it. Some excuses you wouldn't believe. Imagine someone saying, I've got this gold mine. I've got so much gold. I don't know what to do with it all. Come over and dig. And the other person says, I don't have a shovel. I'll get you one, says the first person. Do you know what they want for shovels? Replies the other. The point is, invest the money, get the cassettes and books. The best money you can spend is money invested in your self-education. Don't shortchange yourself when it comes to investing in your own better future. Mr. Shoaf got me started on building my library. When I first met him, he said to me, become self-educated. Standard education will get you standard results. Check those numbers and see if that's what you want. If you want something better than standard, you must become self-educated. So I got to work on my library, and now I have one of the best. He recommended a couple of books to get me started. The first one was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. If you don't have it already, it's a great one to add to your library. Earl Nightingale has put it on cassette. I read it several dozen times. Shoaf said, repetition is the mother of skill. And if you could have seen my bank account at the time, you would have known I needed lots of that kind of repetition. Some of the ideas in that book made major changes in my life. As I look back now, the book was worth thousands, and I bought it for pennies. I learned a very valuable lesson. There can be a great deal of difference between cost and value. Before I met Mr. Shoaf, I used to ask, how much does it cost? After I met him, however, I soon learned to ask, how much is it worth? I started basing my life on worth instead of cost. and everything changed. The next book he recommended was on nutrition. He said, "Study nutrition. Vitality plays an important part in doing well. Some people don't do well because they don't feel well. It's not that they're not intelligent, it's that they're ill. They don't have the fire and the vitality to do well." So, he really got on me about nutrition. Now, some of those health books are a bit weird, but you can separate out the weird stuff. There are cassettes on nutrition too. Remember, don't be a follower, be a student. Someone says, "I read this book, should I follow?" And the answer is no. Read at least 2 books and make up your own mind. Don't be a follower, be a student. So take care of yourself. A person's library of books and cassettes reveals their most dominant desires. It's interesting to walk into someone's house and browse through the library. What does your library say about you? So, read all the books. Now, here's good news. You don't have to read them all at once. Try this. 2 books a week. In 10 years, that's 1,000 books. If you read 1,000 books in the next 10 years, do you think they would greatly influence all the dimensions of your life? The answer is, of course. But here's what's exciting. It's only 2 books a week. However, I would suggest if you haven't read 2 books a week for the last 10 years, you are about 1,000 books behind. Can you imagine the incredible disadvantage it will be 10 years from now to stride into the marketplace 1,000 books behind? Now, the next way to learn from others is to listen. Become a great listener. Get around successful people and listen. Listen to what they say and listen to how they say it. There is something to be said for style as well as content. And never has listening to successful people been easier or less costly than it is today with cassettes like the one you're listening to now. You can own cassette programs by and about the most successful people in any field, and you can listen to their ideas while you do something else, while driving your car, exercising, getting dressed in the morning, anytime. Listening to successful people can be a game changer. Take them out to dinner, ask questions, and most importantly, listen. Even if you need to spend some money on the meal, consider it an investment in your future. Poor people often miss out on this opportunity because they don't see the value in it. They might say, "Let him buy his own dinner. I'm not spending my money." But remember, if you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you've always got. Observing successful people is another powerful way to learn. Success leaves clues, so pay attention to what they do. Watch how they shake hands, how they interact with others, and how they carry themselves. Successful people have certain habits and behaviors that you can learn from. Investing in your education is crucial. Set aside some money each month to buy books, attend seminars, and listen to lectures. Think of it as an educational fund for your mind and spirit. The money you spend on expanding your knowledge is a small price to pay for the unlimited potential it unlocks. Time is also a valuable investment. Yes, asking for someone's time is a big request, but it's necessary if you want to learn and grow. Make the most of every moment you have by dedicating yourself to learning. Remember, you can always make more money, but you can't make more time. Finally, investing effort is essential. Casual listening won't cut it if you want to truly absorb and apply what you learn. You need to put in the effort to actively engage with the material and apply it to your life. This effort is like turning on the lights, opening the windows, and sharpening your focus. It's what turns your dreams into reality and leads to wealth and happiness. Remember that if you really want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. There's no room for excuses, only action. Take that first step now and watch how your life transforms forever. Thank you for your listening.